Think you know what really happens on a cruise? Former crew members say there's an entire world passengers never see. Behind the buffets, casinos, and Broadway shows are secrets the cruise lines would rather keep hidden. From rigged odds at sea to the harsh reality of crew life below deck, I'm revealing 12 shocking truths they don't want you to know. And trust me, Secret 12 is the one insiders say changes everything about how you'll see your next cruise. And while you're here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because I share insider travel hacks and cruise tips every week, so you'll always be one step ahead before you sail. Secret 1. Casino odds aren't what you think. Let's start with money because this one surprises almost everyone. Cruise ship casinos don't play by the same rules as those on land. Onshore, strict gaming commissions regulate slot machines and table games, ensuring a fair payout percentage. But once you're sailing in international waters, those regulations disappear. Cruise lines can actually adjust slot payouts during your voyage. After a few big wins, the machines can quietly be tightened, making it nearly impossible to strike again. Even table games like blackjack may run under modified house rules that favor the ship more than you'd expect. Now, does that mean you should avoid the casino completely? Not at all. It can be great fun, as long as you see it as entertainment, not an investment strategy. Secret 2. You're being profiled. From the moment you step on board, the cruise line begins tracking you, and most passengers never realize it. Your cruise card isn't just your room key or a way to buy drinks. Every swipe builds a digital profile of your habits. It logs when you order cocktails, how often you shop, even how much time you spend at the casino. That data doesn't sit unused. It shapes how the staff treats you. Big spenders might suddenly receive priority service, special invitations, or even a free drink here and there. On the other hand, guests who constantly complain may quietly be flagged, which can make crew less eager to go the extra mile. The lesson here? Be polite, be respectful, and if you can, tip early. Crew members remember those small gestures, and they often repay them with service that feels a little more special throughout your voyage. Secret 3. Buffets aren't fresh. Let's talk about food, because this is one of the biggest myths at sea. Passengers imagine that endless buffets and glamorous dinners are freshly prepared every day. The truth? With thousands of guests to feed daily, much of the food is frozen, pre-prepared, or reheated. Cruise chefs are masters at presentation, so the meals look impressive, but they're not always as fresh as you think. That doesn't mean the food is bad. In fact, many dishes taste great, especially if you don't overthink it. But if you're hoping for farm-to-table quality, you'll likely be disappointed. Here's the insider tip. Skip the mass buffet when you can. Look for live cooking stations where meals are made to order right in front of you. Or treat yourself to a specialty restaurant at least once during your trip. That's where you'll find the freshest and most flavorful dining experiences on board. Secret 4. The upgrade trap. Everyone loves the idea of a free upgrade. A bigger cabin, better views, or extra perks. But on cruise ships, not every upgrade is a win. In fact, sometimes it's a trap. A cabin that seems better on paper might be located directly above a nightclub, right next to crew machinery, or above the ship's engines. That means sleepless nights filled with vibrations and noise. And in cases where the ship is oversold, some passengers are quietly moved into less desirable cabins without realizing they've actually been downgraded. Cruise lines frame it as an adjustment, but you feel the difference when your peaceful room becomes a noisy one. The solution? Before you sail, study the deck plan carefully. Know exactly where your cabin sits. And if you're offered an upgrade, don't be afraid to decline. Sometimes the best cabin is the one you carefully chose in the first place. Secret 5. Risky excursions. Shore excursions are often the highlight of a cruise, but here's what most passengers don't realize. Not all excursions are equal. When you book directly through the cruise line, those tours are vetted, and more importantly, the ship will wait if there are delays. But third-party vendors on the pier may not follow the same safety standards, and if their bus breaks down or their boat returns late, the ship will not wait. One passenger learned this the hard way after a non-official tour ran long. By the time they reached the dock, the last tender was gone, and the ship had already sailed. What followed was a nightmare of flights, hotels, and missed days. So the choice is yours. Save a little money or buy peace of mind. Would you risk booking outside the cruise line? Comment yes or no. Secret 6. Missing items. Go quiet. Here's something cruise lines never advertise. When small items go missing, investigations are rare. It's not that theft never happens. It does. But for the cruise line, bad press is worse than your missing watch or wallet. So instead of drawing attention to a complaint, Reports are often quietly minimized or brushed aside. Crew members may help if you've misplaced something, but once an item is truly gone, recovery is unlikely. That's why prevention is everything. Use the safe inside your cabin for valuables and don't assume your suitcase is secure just because it's locked. An insider tip? Before you leave home, take photos of your packed luggage and everything valuable inside. That way, if something goes missing, you'll have proof. And at least a fighting chance at an insurance claim. On a cruise, the quiet rule is simple. Protect your belongings yourself. Secret 7. Your cruise card tracks everything. You already know your cruise card tracks your spending, but it actually goes much deeper. Every swipe, every check-in, and every complaint you make builds a log about your behavior. If you show up late to muster drill, it's recorded. If you're late returning from port, that's tracked. Frequent complaints, logged as well. This data isn't just for billing. It shapes how the crew and management see you, and sometimes, it even determines who gets offered perks or who gets flagged for extra attention. That's why it's smart to monitor your account daily using the cruise line's app or guest services. Check your charges, stay ahead of errors, and be mindful that your actions are always leaving a digital footprint. On land, people say your phone tracks you. At sea, it's your cruise card, and it's watching everything you do. 8. Crew life below deck. It's easy to be dazzled by the shows, pools, and endless buffets, but behind the guest-only areas is a hidden world, crew life. While passengers enjoy luxury, many crew members live in cramped, windowless cabins, working 7 days a week for months at a time. One worker shared that their room was the size of a closet, with no natural light, and they lived there for 9 months straight. Crew dining is basic, breaks are short, and free time is rare. And yet many still smile and go out of their way to make your vacation unforgettable. That's the part passengers rarely see. The truth is, small acts of kindness, a thank you, a smile, or a tip, mean far more than you think. For crew who sacrifice so much, a little respect and appreciation can brighten even the longest contract at sea. Secret 9. Medical care is limited. Here's a sobering truth. Ship infirmaries are not full hospitals. They're designed for basic care only. Seasickness, minor injuries, or simple medications. Anything more serious, and you're in trouble. If a passenger suffers a major medical issue, the only option is emergency evacuation. And that can cost tens of thousands of dollars, often charged directly to you if you're uninsured. Stories exist of travelers bankrupting themselves after a sudden heart attack or accident at sea. The doctors on board are skilled, but their resources are limited. That's why the smartest travelers always carry travel insurance. It's the difference between peace of mind and a financial nightmare. Would you really board a ship without insurance? Be honest in the comments. I want to know how many of you would take that risk. Secret 10. Freebies is equal to upsell traps. Who doesn't love free champagne, complimentary spa consultations, or cocktail tastings? They feel like gifts from the cruise line. But in reality, they're carefully designed sales funnels. That glass of bubbly at art auctions? It's meant to loosen wallets. Free spa demos? They lead to overpriced treatments and product pitches. Cocktail tastings? They end with drink package upsells. Now there's nothing wrong with enjoying these perks. They can be fun, and sometimes worth it. The key is knowing they're not truly free. Take the experience, enjoy it, but don't feel guilty when you politely decline the upsell. The staff expect it. Remember, the cruise line's job is to extract more revenue from every guest. Your job is to decide which extras are worth it. The secret to winning? Take the freebie, skip the trap, and sail away with your wallet intact. Secret 11. Hidden spaces exist. Cruise ships are floating cities, and like any city, they have their hidden corners. While most passengers crowd the pools, buffets, and main lounges, there are quiet spaces tucked away, if you know where to look. Some ships hide secret observation decks above the bridge. Others have crew-favorite lounges that guests rarely find. Even something as simple as a quiet deck chair behind the smokestack can feel like your own private escape. The trick is timing and curiosity. Explore on embarkation day when the ship is empty, or ask a seasoned cruiser where their favorite hidden spot is. You'll often find pockets of peace away from the chaos. The perfect place for a sunrise coffee or late-night stargazing. The best memories on board aren't always in the brochures. Sometimes they're waiting just around a corner no one else bothered to check. Secret 12. The real hidden cost. And here it is, the secret crew whisper about more than any other. The real cost of cruising isn't the ticket price. It's the endless little charges that drain you once you're on board. Wi-Fi, professional photos, bottled water, specialty coffees, room service fees, all designed to nickel and dime passengers without them noticing. First-timers are the most vulnerable, often spending double their cruise fare on extras they never budgeted for. That's why the smartest strategy is simple. Set a spending cap before you board, decide which extras truly matter to you, and ignore the rest. Because the truth is, the cruise line makes more money from what you spend on board than from your actual ticket. What about you? What's the sneakiest extra fee you've ever been hit with on vacation? Share your story in the comments. I'll feature the best ones in a future video. Bonus hack, early tipping. Here's one last insider trick most first-time cruisers overlook. Tip early. It's not mandatory, but slipping your steward or bartender a $20 at the very start of your cruise can unlock service that feels priceless. Crew members remember who treated them kindly, and those small gestures often come back in the form of faster service, little surprises, and a smoother vacation overall. A small tip early can go a very long way at sea. Now you know 12 secrets the cruise lines never wanted you to. Which one shocked you most? Comment with the words "cruise secrets" and I'll reply to a few. And before you book your next cruise, don't miss my other guide. 12 shocking reasons cruises deny boarding in 2025. Like, subscribe, share this with the person you'd cruise with.